Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the May 1st, 2017 regular meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll? You should join me so we can salute the flag. That'd be good. Sorry about that. Now, Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alderman Anderson.
Present.
Alderman Beatty. Alderman Bevan.
Here.
Alderman Beer.
Madam Secretary, Alderman Beer will be late.
Thank you. Alderman Casey.
Here.
Alderman Gurman.
Madam Secretary, Alderman Gurman would like to be excused.
Thank you. Alderman Gennatasio.
Here.
Alderman Golden.
Here.
Alderman Grant.
Here.
Alderman Hardiman. Alderman Shaw. Alderman Smith.
Here.
Alderman Vecchiarelli. Alderman Vitro.
Here.
Alderman Vitale.
Here.
13 present, Mr. Chairman.
13 present. We do have a quorum. At this time, the mayor has a presentation for us. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. One of the good things about being on this board is that you have a front row seat to some of the exceptionalism in our fair city, and that is something I'm going to highlight tonight, and it is my privilege to call forward members of the combined Milford High School fencing team. If you come to the front of the auditorium. This group of athletes from across our city have brought great pride to the town of Milford, and on behalf of the entire city, I do have an official proclamation which reads, whereas the Milford Combined High School fencing team has had an impressive, successful season bringing honor and pride to themselves and our community, and whereas Jonathan Law High School seniors Hesperger and Perez, senior co-captains Whaley and Maharajan, and freshman Manahar and Penkasic, Joseph A. Foreign High School seniors Messi, Camacho, Gallipoli, senior co-captain Heiza, juniors Menta and Brennan, junior co-captain Puri, sophomores Kissinger and Chen, freshmen Smith and Rothschild, Warrington and Young, and ESMUS Magnet School senior Davies, under the guidance of head coach Mark Kissinger and Sabre coach Bob Messi and manager Chris Heiza, put together a winning combination through hard work, long hours of practice, mutual support, and commitment. And whereas competition at the State Novice Championships at Guilford in women's epee garnered Hessenberger first place and 15th overall in the state championship, and Messi took home a 6th place medal in women's saber. The team reaped a total of 22 wins at the Connecticut High School Individual Fencing Championship held at Hopkins School in New Haven. Competing in Milford's biggest squad to date, 15 of the city's top fencers held their own when they went up against the best of the best statewide. In only her first year of fencing, epee fencer Hessenberger led Milford to the best finish in 4 years, losing 14-15 in a tough third round. Maharaja and Puri battled in women's foil. Messi and Penkasic fought in the saber division, and Perez and Smith notched wins in women's epee. The men's division proved to be a force to be reckoned with. Gallipoli made it to the first round, losing a rousing bout 13-15. Epee teammates Kissinger, who made it to the third round and placed 16th in the state, and Camacho each notched wins. And Rothschild and Davies each took a bout in the men's foil. Saber fencers Menta, Heiza, and Whaley worked together to score 6 wins. These wins placed them high enough to qualify for the Team State Fencing Championship at the Norwich Free Academy, where they took Milford to 7th place in the state. And whereas recognition and celebration of Milford's combined high school fencing team serves to bring our community together as we honor them for a phenomenal season. Now, therefore, I, Benjamin Blake, Mayor of the City of Milford, on behalf of all of the citizens of Milford, do hereby deem it an honor to proclaim today, May 1st, 2017, as Milford Combined High School Fencing Team Day, and extend our congratulations and our pride in their accomplishments. Congratulations. Do any of you want to say a few words? How about another round of applause for our championship fencing team?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that presentation. The next portion of the meeting is devoted to public comment. Statements are limited to the legislative function of the Board of Aldermen. The time limit granted to each speaker shall be 3 minutes. Residents, taxpayers, and electors may address the board at this time. The board encourages speakers not to express derogatory, insensitive, or offensive statements, or to engage in personal attacks against individuals. In order to allow everyone an opportunity to speak, I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to address the board can do so at this time. Just step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandy Velke. I live at 190 Cornfield Road in Milford. I've been a citizen of the town of Milford for over 20 years, and I am new at this, so please bear with me. This is my first time speaking in front of a municipal board. The roads near where I live, Grinnell Street, parts of West Rutland, and the parts of Plains Road, specifically the one-way section, have been horrible for the past few years. So last October, I emailed the mayor advising him of my concern. He replied, saying he was going to forward my email to Public Works Director and asking him to assess the roads in question. I never heard further. The winter went by, and of course, the roads continued to get worse. By February 28th, I emailed the mayor again, reminding him of my first email and advised that nothing had been done with the streets I had mentioned back in October. Instead, they had filled the potholes and the roads had gotten worse. I drive these streets frequently each day and asked that he please push this issue with the Public Works Director again. His reply again was that he was going to forward another email to Public Works for the streets I had mentioned to be considered. By early April, frustrated that my concern was falling on deaf ears, I then emailed two of the aldermen of my district, Alderman Bayer and Alderman Giannatasio. I advised the aldermen of the background to my prior correspondences with the mayor and asked that they please just take a drive-by on these streets I had mentioned and leave, and I had also left my cell phone number as well as my email address to please reply to me with their findings. By April 25th, I had heard nothing. No reply, no email, no phone call. So by this time, I reviewed the town hall website thinking that I had emailed the wrong people. But I hadn't. I had just forgotten there was one other alderman that I had not emailed the first time, Mrs. Ellen Beatty. So I emailed all 3 aldermen apologizing to Ms. Beatty for not including her in my initial email, but also stating to Alderman Bayer and Alderman Giannatasio that I had not heard from them. Within an hour and a half, I received a reply from Alderman Beatty advising she would follow up with the Public Works and get back to me. And within less than 45 minutes from there, Alderman Beatty got back to me and advised that she had been in contact with the Public Works, and the roads that I had mentioned were on the list for 2017. While I am pleased with the efforts from Alderman Beatty, I know that things said not always come true. Needless to say, I have a total number of houses that frequent the Grinnell Street, Plains Road, and West Rutland area to be approximately 314 households. That does not include the businesses at the end of Plains Road. I am confident that if these roads cannot or do not get paved this year, that a petition can be completed with all the necessary signatures. I hope it doesn't come to that. The reason I am here tonight is to express the disappointment with the communication in this town. This is my first experience here, as I have never felt the need to address an issue in the past. Now I do, and unfortunately, with the exception of Alderman Beatty, I was not satisfied with the lack of action from the other aldermen and also the mayor. Considering it's election year, I would have expected a quick reply. That's not what happened. It should not have taken 4 emails in over 6 months to get the answer to my original question. I will be following up with the progress or lack thereof regarding these road repairs via phone calls or emails. Hopefully I can do it with all aldermen and not just Alderman Beatty. Thank you for your time.
Would anyone else like to address the board at this time?
Good evening. My name is Brad Sanchez. I live at 6 Haystack Road. I also represent the Milford Umpires Associations here in Milford. Just want to go on record that I've played sports since probably like the late 60s, and I am upset with the way the Milford Rec Department and the city Public Works do not work hand in hand. Our fields are in horrible shape. They keep on going to the Rec Department, and they feel that their hands are tied because when they go to the Public Works, nothing is getting done. We have premier teams that used to play here. And in 2014, you had 2 teams that represented not only Milford, but the state of Connecticut that won the Territorial National in Columbus, Ohio. Both those teams no longer play in the city of Milford. 2011, we had 160 adult softball leagues, teams, and we're down to 75. So I'm going on record that almost every single field that's in the city of Milford needs work, plus the fields, the base paths are supposed to go from 65 to 70, and I have emails that Tom Hunt has, and nothing's getting done. Talking the fences need to be repaired or upgraded. Field conditions, if it rains tomorrow, we don't play on Washington Field for almost 3 days. All right? And Brian, I'll be talking to you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Seeing none, Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 3, consideration of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on April 3rd, 2017.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 4, there was no special meeting. Agenda item number 5, Chairman's report. First of all, I'd like to take the time, this is May, the month of May, of course, we all have put time aside to honor our great mothers on Mother's Day, which is the 14th. Also, we have wreath laying ceremony on the 28th of May, and we have our Memorial Day parade on the 28th also.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
could I just add to that month?
absolutely.
It's also Mental Health Awareness Month, and that is a great deal. And so all of us should be aware of what the happenings are. There's several things that are planned through Bridges, and if you go onto the website, you can maybe attend some of these, and it's something that we should be well aware of and due respect to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Vitale. Next item on the agenda is number 6, Mayor's Report and Recommendations. Mr. Mayor, is there a report?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In addition to Mother's Day this month and Mental Health Awareness, this week is actually Teacher Appreciation Week. So if you haven't already, make sure that you thank a teacher that's inspired you or made you who you are today. And with that, I do respectfully request your consideration and action on those items 8A and 8B. It's a short agenda this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Agenda item number 7, we do not have any unfinished business. Moving on to new business, Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 8A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the request pursuant to CGS 8-24 to authorize the Connecticut Green Bank, its affiliates, designees, and/or assignees to site, own, operate, and maintain a solar array at Cappen Elementary School, Orchard Hills Elementary School, Pumpkin Delight Elementary School, the Academy and Harbor Middle School, to authorize the Board of Education to take all steps necessary to effectuate the installation and operation of such solar arrays, including without limitation, granting access license for each of the schools and signing all documents, and to authorize the mayor or his designee to take all steps necessary on behalf of the city to assist the Board of Education to effectuate the installation and operation of such solar array, including signing all documents.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Vitale.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. I just want to go on record by saying that at least one of these schools was previously mentioned as being closed a few years ago. And I would be tremendously disappointed if, in fact, we do all of this construction and with the solar arrays, et cetera, that we're doing on these buildings, that one of them may be closed or two of them might be closed in the very, very near future. So I just wanted to make sure that we know about that. Thank you.
Is there any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item 8B.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the request for the attached agreement between Seniors Philanthropy of Milford, BDA Golden Hill Rehab Pavilion, and the City of Milford, and to authorize the Mayor and the Health Director to take all steps necessary, including signing all documents to effectuate said program.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 9, there is no other new business.
Are we going to do this here at the budget memo?
Next on the agenda is agenda item number 10, Budget memo transfers. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item number 10A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the budget memo transfers number 5 and number 6, funds 10 and 12, FY17, at the Board of Finance meeting to take place on Monday, April 24, 2017, in Conference Room B of the Parsons Government Complex. Let's see.
April 28th.
That's April 28th.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Vecchiarelli, agenda item 10B. I'm sorry. So we voted on both of them together. Okay. Alderman Vecchiarelli, moving on to refunds. Agenda item 11A.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the refunds in the amount of $18,361.81.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Reports of standing committees. Are there any reports of any standing committees? Alderman Frank Smith, report of Ordinance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Ordinance Committee met earlier this evening to take up an amendment to an ordinance establishing compensation for city officials and employees in service of the City of Milford, Article 2, Public Safety Employees, Schedule R. This is a amendment to the existing compensation ordinance, in this case applying to employees in service of the City of Milford not covered by the collective bargaining agreements. Whenever we have conclude a contract with one of the city services, the non-represented employees are usually accorded parity in terms of the terms of that agreement. This particular one, Public Safety Employees Schedule R, are for the fire chief and the assistant fire chief. And if I recall correctly, Mr. City Attorney, there was 2.5% the first step, and no, 2?
2.25.
And then 2 in the ensuing years. This ordinance was taken up by the Ordinance Committee and was unanimously recommended to the full board for consideration and vote tonight, and I submit that as a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Just as a point of clarification, 2.25 for the first year, 2.5 for the following, each year for the following 3 years.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Bertram. Is that all, Alderman Smith?
That's it. It's a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion was made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Are there any other reports of standing committees? Seeing none, move on to agenda item number 13, reports of special committees. Are there any reports from standing committees? Seeing none, we'll move on to the agenda item number 14, executive session. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for a discussion concerning pending litigation, Gene Lasik versus the City of Milford. Joining us in executive session for item 14A will be the Mayor, Mayor Blake, and City Attorney John Bertram. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're in executive session. We are now out of the executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Our next meeting is Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Our budget hearing continues. 7 o'clock right here, which will be May 3rd.
Same,
7 o'clock.
same time.
Thank you.
Same channel.
Same chime.